guys, this is my 2011 BMW M3 and I'm going to review it for you. So basically right now I'm going to talk to you about the engine and the specs of it. Equipped with a 4-liter naturally aspirated V8, straight from BMW. It comes stock with around 420 horsepower, but this motor is very tunable. Stock, it'll go from 0 to 60 in around 4.6 seconds, which, trust me, it's enough. So if you come around here to the wheels with me, this car in particular comes with the Competition package, which comes with these 20-inch wheels that are more lightweight, and the EDC system, which is electronic dampener control for the suspension. So now I'm going to take you guys on a drive and tell you what I think. This car in particular is equipped with the dual clutch transmission, aka the DCT. Basically, it uses 2 clutches to anticipate gear shifts, and it shifts quite rapidly. I do prefer dual clutch transmissions over manuals on track. Manuals are very spirited and it's good for like a canyon drive, but dual clutch really will shave off that 1/10 of a second on the lap time. And as you can see, all you gotta do here to shift it into drive, once over right, it's in manual, once over once more, now it's in drive. For reverse, over and up, and then for neutral, right down in the middle. But right now we'll be having it in drive because I'm gonna take you guys for a quick drive. Right now, I'm in Studio City, close to the Universal Lookout. It's not the most ideal driving road considering traffic and road conditions, but you know, it's good enough to tell you how the car drives. This car is Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's.
I'm pretty impressed.
The Pilot Sport 4S
did not swing out at all.
But 4S does not stand for 4 season. This is more of a summer compound. It grips actually a lot. I'm glad I'm on the best tire for this. The car stays planted, and the electronic dampener control keeps it solid and planted the whole way through the drive. And if you want to just comfort, you just pop it over in a drive again, and then you just cruise and get it in the most comfortable setting. I really like that for the fact that I do like to go to track days, and when I drive this car at the track, I want to switch it into oh look, hey, an M5. That's a beautiful car. That also comes with electronic dampener control. And when I'm at the track, I can switch it into the hardcore mode, and where there's not a lot of bumps. And then when I'm on an older, more like less maintained road like this, I can get it on the more comfortable setting. And it's still solid because it's obviously an M3, and it's not going to break your back, especially if you're an older dude, like 50 and above, who really have the money to actually afford these cars. Then you know you'll be fine. There is a car in front of us. There's a lot of traffic today. It's Studio City. That's expected. But yeah, overall, I think it's a great car. The only drawbacks is that, quote unquote, like drifting, like sliding this car, it's very snappy. It does not want to go out, and which is fine. It's predictable when it grips, and when it's not gripping, it's very unpredictable, which is its only flaw. But if you were at a racetrack, it'd be a lot more easy to control because you'd have a lot more safety in a sense, a lot more like dig out. So if you were to slide out or slide out of control, you have much more leeway, and it's much more forgiving. But on a road like this, where there's not many dig outs or anything or anywhere to crash, it's just houses and trees and cars, I would really not recommend trying to slide this car in any way, especially because this car in particular has two 265s in the rear, and they're very grippy tires, so the odds of you actually getting it out are very slim. And also, it just comes down to experience, because I am only 16 years old. I have driven many cars, many high-performing cars, but even that, it does not matter, because you know, a 60-year-old guy who bought this and has you know, experience racing on the track is going to have a much more predictable, much more fun time than me. Switching on the electronic dampener control, which will stiffen up the suspension, and putting it in manual mode. And now I will be slightly launching this car. Now we're just gonna do some spirited driving, just a little bit of, you know, time consumer. I am using the paddle shifters now, which are shifting me much quicker than usual. Good old spirited driving. Cameraman, if you were to get the shot of the road. Good old V8. The sound from this car is fantastic, honestly. It's beautiful. I can't get enough of it. It's just so, it's not raspy, it's just so, the power, it comes on so much more linear than other cars with turbos. That's why I just love this naturally aspirated power. Caught up to the traffic. Hey, never mind, I think we're good. Naturally aspirated on power. I don't know what should I don't know the exact specs of this transmission, but all I know is that it shifts me quicker than any other car I've driven, and I like that. So, and these brakes are phenomenal. These brakes are just absolutely, oh, they will stop you in the emergency or on the track. You're all good. And as you can see, like, this thing rips around the corners like it's nobody's business. You just drop a gear, rev it out, upshift. This car also comes equipped with shift lights, so it will show you when to shift. As I will now demonstrate. Cameraman, can you see it? The tack? All right, let me just get into a nice position to do this for you guys. Second gear. And now we're going downhill in the wet, so, and I'm getting a phone call. So, it's almost speed sensitive in the sense that at low speeds, it's very, very light. You're able to maneuver around corners and park your car in parking spots very easily. But then at higher speeds and at places like this, it's very, very darty, and it's very nice. It's very stiff. I feel attached to the road. I feel like there's less of a linkage going on around. You know what I mean? Like, it is much more active. I can feel every bump, especially when I have the dampener on, and I have the dampeners off, and the suspension is stiffer. It's a lot more. It's a lot more natural. This car feels very natural. It feels as if it should. Almost like not having a turbo transforms the car completely. So this car comes with a sound upgrade. The sound from factory for the audio is actually fantastic. But in this car, I decided to put, well, a little bit more of a kick, which it's honestly, I think, worth it, and it's the perfect kit for this car. And you probably can't tell in the video, but I mean, you can try.